Welcome to Camp Half-Blood, and I am so excited to announce that with me at Lacey Reads and Alex at Alex Story to Love, we will enter the world of Percy Jackson, where the gods are very much real. Those stories of gods, titans, ancient Greek myths and legends, including to all those monsters, are very much real. We'll be reading one book a month, starting with The Lightning Thief. Now, this is the 8th book that I could not reveal in my unhaul video. Yeah, I will go and show you the graphic for the reading order. So, as well as there being reading one book a month, we will also be doing a watch along in my Discord. The link is either in the Linktree link on my channel description, or when you watch Alex's announcement video, which I really recommend you doing if you have not already, that the link to my Discord will be in the description to her video. Yes, so we will be doing a watch along as well. Now we are going to leave it up to you guys if you want to watch the films and the series, but we'll be definitely doing the series. And that is super exciting because season 2 comes out in December, which is fantastic timing for us reading these books. For this read along, both Alex and I will be doing a separate reading sprint. Alex is at the beginning of the month on Sunday the 7th. I will put the details of that in the description, but also go check out her channel and click notify on the reading sprint when it is live. Did I say Saturday? I meant Sunday. It's Sunday the 7th. If I haven't said that already. I will also put and link her channel in the description as well, like at it, so that you can go and find her announcement if you haven't watched it already. For each book, for each month in the Discord, I will also put a graphic up. This graphic will be like a series of images as a scavenger hunt for you to find in the book as you read it that month. Now, this was inspired by Hermie at the book Hermit when they did their read along of the Hunger Games and they had their bookmarks. So I will also be linking their channel in the description as well, so you can go and check them out. I would really recommend it. I have also, for those like me who, when reading, if you're not immersive reading with an audiobook, I like to immerse myself with a playlist that is themed on the book. And I love creating playlists, but it's just an excuse to do that. But I have created a Percy Jackson themed playlist that I'll be also putting it in the Discord. So you can go and listen to that. It's over 6 hours. It's got music from all genres. So if you don't like a song, you can just skip to the next one and there'll be something for everyone there. Okay, so this next bit I may get a little bit emotional for because I want to go into why Percy Jackson has such a special place in my heart. Now, this is a complete reread for me. I have read it before. It is one of my favourite series of all time, and I want to explain why. Because this series has had a profound impact on me in my life, and I want to explain a bit about that and why it's so important to me. I've had to write this down because I know that I'm just going to blank out otherwise. But to go into why it's so special, I have to give some context into the story. So, the writer Rick Riordan had taught Greek myths for many years, and his son Haley asked him to tell him bedtime stories of all the Greek heroes. I can say horrors, Greek heroes, um, gods, and monsters. And then when he ran out of those stories, his son was really disappointed. And then he remembered a assignment that he set his students, um, where people would demigods of a god, and he remembered that, and he then started doing something very similar and telling his son Haley stories of like demigods, and the world of Percy Jackson was born. Now he he then wrote it as a story. He put it to his students. His students kind of gave feedback and helped him write the story as well. So it's actually originally based off an assignment. What makes Percy Jackson so special to me isn't about the fact that it is history, it's about mythology, both subjects that really interest me. Um, those that know me know that I have a degree in archaeology and history that was very much influenced by me reading Percy Jackson when I did. Um, I found Percy Jackson when I was a teenager. I was in secondary school, which is the UK equivalent of high school. Um, and at that point, I was a few years off being diagnosed with dyslexia, and I wasn't diagnosed with dyslexia until I was at college. And yeah, and ADHD wasn't even in the picture then as well. So I was having all of these challenges. Like I always loved to read, but I always found it a challenge. And that actually um resulted in me not reading for a few years because of these challenges. And then later, um recently I got back into reading and rediscovered my love of reading, and that part of that was my struggles with my dyslexia. But yeah, at the time in secondary school, I was struggling with my dyslexia, um, and I was just comparing myself to others, and would get frustrated that things that seemed doable and seemingly easy to others were hard for me. That my brain just did not work in the way that other people seem to work, and I kept comparing myself. But I was also noticing that I was very creative, a great problem solver, and other things that I later found out were traits of being associated with being neurodivergent, or it's also called now like neurospicy. But yeah, and this is linked in with Percy Jackson because the reason it's so special is that so Rick's son Haley, at the time of him writing these stories and creating these bedtime stories for him, he was going through some tests for learning differences. Haley was having trouble reading, was being tested for dyslexia and ADHD, which is why Rick made the demigods have ADHD and be dyslexic. Um, because as he was doing research and seeing his son struggle and he was learning more about it, he was seeing that there was a lot of judgment, a lot of stigma, a lot of negative associations with being neurodivergent at that time. And he wanted the demigods to be neurodivergent because he wanted to honor the potential of those who are neurodiverse. And that was just incredible to me because at the time when I was a teenager, when I discovered it, I didn't know what dyslexia was. I didn't know what ADHD was. But I found that when I was reading Percy Jackson, I was noticing stuff about myself and I found familiarity in it. I was like, okay, maybe there are other people that kind of think like me, maybe that struggle with the same things that I do and have the same strengths and weaknesses that I do. Um, and I just related so much to it. So when I originally read this series, I was connecting to the characters. It's an amazing world, amazing writing, but I was also discovering myself and I actually went from being getting really frustrated and really struggling to be actually believe in myself, believe in the ability to actually achieve what I wanted to do, achieve my dreams that are kind of lighting is kind of gone. But yeah, I felt like it had potential, but in my mind I felt like, oh, because it's so much harder than other people seem to be doing things, that I was somehow didn't have the same capabilities as them because my brain worked differently. And Percy Jackson helped me see that actually my brain is different, but it does not mean that I'm not capable. I am still capable of doing great things. I'm grateful. I am capable of achieving what I want to do. And it just motivated me so much more to actually kind of focus on what I wanted to do. Um, and very early on, my parents were told, and I was always told that I wouldn't get any GCSEs at all because of my learning differences and my childhood experiences. And Percy Jackson kind of the series helped me kind of believe that actually I could do it. Um, I then went on to prove everyone wrong. I later got an undergraduate in archaeology and history that I've mentioned. I then went on to get a Masters of Science in mental health. And I now love reading, as you can see on my booktube channel. Um, and I'm super close to publishing my first book as well. And this all started with this series. Um, I know the way I've explained it's all fragmented and stuff, but it's just I can't get across how much this series has impacted me. I can't get across what it has done for me and being able to identify with the experiences and the characters in Percy Jackson. And I love it because it shows that the right book at the right time for the right person can make a massive difference. And that is why I wanted to kind of say a little bit of why it was so special for me going into this read along, so you can kind of see my perspective of it. So this read along for me is going to be nostalgic because I will be remembering when I first read it, and I'm really looking forward to getting back into the world. But also it's going to be an opportunity for me to read it and remember, kind of look back and go, wow, I have come so far from when I originally read this series. So it's going to be an incredible journey, maybe a bit emotional. I'm glad that you're all joining Alex and I on this journey. We both appreciate you all, and I really hope you enjoy this series. There's no pressure to actually love it like I did. I think the reason I love it is very much because of the influence it's had on me as well. But it's a great story in my opinion, and great writing. So I hope that you enjoy it too. Let me know in the comments if this is a reread, that you've read it before, what your thoughts were on Percy Jackson, and let me know also if this is the first time that you're reading it. What kind of do you expect to kind of experience when you read them, or do you have no clue? And that is perfectly fine too. So please let me know in the comments. So I know I've rambled on, and I have just remembered I completely forgot to say that this is starting in September, the month of September, and I'm super excited to start with Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief and take it all on this journey. I'll just remind you that please join the Discord, because I will be putting into that. I'll be putting in the playlist. I'll be putting in the reading order. Each month I'll be putting in the graphic. We will also have the poll on there for watching the films and the series, and then also like planning when to do the watch alongs, and also just discussion on the books itself as well. Um, I do not yet know when I am doing my reading sprints, but it will be the Percy Jackson read along sprint will be at the end of the month, because we are both trying to do one at the beginning of the month and one at the end of the month, um, for people to read Percy Jackson. Obviously, you can read it not in sprints, but yeah, um, super excited for you to join us. If you have any questions, please ask either one of us. It is the first time that we are doing a read along, but we are super excited about it as well.